afternoon, everyone. My name is Januel Boyser, and we are from Dissecting English 2B, and I'm with...
I'm Adrian A. Medrano, and we are conducting a documentation as a requirement for our biological science subject. And
I'm Lisa Leonardo, and we are about to show you how to dissect the gumamela flower. And I am Laila Nabiliana, and identify its parts.
Now,
let's go!
Let's do this!
Let's do this!
Petals are modified leaves that surrounds the reproductive parts of a flower. They are often bright, colored, or usually shaped to attract pollinators. Together, all of the petals of a flower are called corolla. Pollen grains are microscopic structure that carries the male reproductive cell of a plant. The inside of the grain contains cytoplasm along with the tube cell, which become the pollen tube, and the generative cell, which releases the sperm nuclei.
The pistil is the female section of a flower. It is made of 4 parts: the stigma, the style, the ovary, and the ovule. The overall pistil is tubular in appearance, with a bulbous base that holds the flower's ovules. The stigma is the top portion of the pistil, and it is sticky to catch pollen. The style is a tube that carries the pollen to ovules, which are located in the ovary. When the pollen reaches the ovules, it can pollinate and create seeds. Seeds then develop into fruits or more flowers. Style. The style is the flower's ovary. It branches out into the stamina, and each branch attaches to the stamen. This is where the flower is fertilized. Stigma. Stigmas receive pollen grains. They contain flowers' ovules. Where the pollen lands, the fertilized ovules will turn into seeds later in the growth process.
The ovary, which inside the carpel, is below the upper structure of the disc flower that make up the center of the gumamela. As the pistils produce pollen, wind or insects knock it down into the ovary portion of the carpels. Once fertilized, these ovaries create seeds. The wall of the ovary becomes the wall of the fruit called pericarp. The fruit protects the developing seeds and plays an important role in seed dispersal. Function of embryo sac in plants. In the megaspore of a seed-bearing plant situated within the ovule, giving rise to the endosperm and forming the egg cell or nucleus from which the embryo plant develops after fertilization. Integments, a natural outer covering of the body or of a plant including skin, shell, hide, husk or rind. The nucleus is the largest part of the ovule. It houses the embryo sac as well as the nutritive tissue and actually remains present in some flowering plants after fertilization as a source of nutrients for the embryo. Micropyle, a small opening in the surface of an ovule through which the pollen tube penetrates, often visible as a small pore in the ripe seed.
Sepals are located at the very top of the stem of the flower. They are small, tender leaves. They protect the flower while it's a bud. The receptacle is the base of the flower that attaches the stalk or stem to the flower. It is located in the middle of the sepal structure and also can become part of the base of the pollinated fruit. It resembles a cup. When picking a fruit, the receptacle is what is broken away from the stem or stalk. A pollen tube is a tubular structure produced by the male gametophyte of seed plants when it germinates. Pollen tube is elongation in an integral stage in the plant life cycle. The pollen tube acts as a conduit to transport the male gamete cells from the pollen grain, either from the stigma to the ovules at the base of its pestle or directly through ovule tissue in some gymnosperm.
The stamen is considered the male internal section of a flower. The stamen consists of two parts, the anther and the filament. The anther produces pollen in a flower and is comprised of tiny sacs, giving it a rounded appearance. The pollen is carried by bees or other insects to another flower to pollinate, which is the process of cross-pollination. If a flower pollinates itself, it is considered a pollinator. The filament of the stamen supports the anther. It is thin and stalk-like in appearance.
I'm Jenilyn Balino. Now we're done dissecting the gumamela flower and identifying its parts. We hope that this documentation will be great help in your research and development as a student or as an educator. Thank you.